I'm on drugs this week, so I'm not feeling well. I know that's surprising to you. Oh yeah, let me take my shoes off. She called it the Barefoot Podcast.
The B2B Barefoot Happy Hour.
The Barefoot to Barefoot.
And then we only drink barefoot wine.
Yes. I like how we come up with like so many B2B.
Let's go.
You've joined B2B Happy Hour with your hosts, Stephen Brent May and Hami Arrington. This is the place where B2B marketing meets BYOB. So pour yourself a glass, pull up a chair, and let's get this happy hour started. I feel like this is an episode that people should listen to and not watch.
Right. I think it'd be more fun if you try to figure out what's happening.
Who is hosting with you today, Hami?
Skeletor.
So we're doing costumes today.
Yeah. Can you guess what I am?
Winnie the Pooh.
No.
I give up.
I'm the bare minimum.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here in a whole skeleton jumpsuit.
We love Halloween.
It's fun. And so for this episode, we actually are making it extra spooky. So you can tell from the costumes, the lights behind us. Mm-hmm. We've got Halloween themes.
Yes.
And then
we're drinking this wine.
Okay. Should we talk about the wine?
We probably should. It matches you.
It does. It's a wine called Dearly Beloved that we bought at Trader Joe.
Trader Joseph's.
Is it Trader Joe's? Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
So Dearly Beloved, it is from Lodi, California. It's a red blend. It is a blend of Tempranillo, Tannat, Petit Syrah, and Zinfandel. I have extremely low expectations for today's wine.
I just tasted it.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know we'll talk about it more at the end.
Yeah. It's our second choice of wines.
Yes. So we went to Trader Joe because I saw a video this morning that Trader Joe has a pumpkin spice Chardonnay, which we thought would be perfect for this episode.
Yes. They sold out.
Yes.
So.
But also in exciting news, speaking of the wine, proper wine glasses.
Look at that.
Yes. We did not get a sponsor. We paid for them ourselves, but we're no longer drinking out of plastic.
Yeah. But did you know that you could sponsor these glasses if you'd like?
Yes. $3 each. Thanks, department store. I don't want to say which one because I don't know if we're supposed to go there. All right, Hami, you just got back from a big trip.
I did. I spent a few days in London. My first time in London, and ate my way through. We walked, over 10 miles a day. We were there for a little over 6 days. And I think that I counted up like 6 sausage rolls while I was there, and did a lot of shopping and saw the sights. It was really fun.
So what was your favorite part about London?
The sausage rolls. And then also the Barber jackets.
Yes, I didn't know anything about these till you got back. And I've been on their website looking at Barber jackets.
It's the hottest thing going. So if you are a fashionista, is that a word?
I don't know.
Then maybe check out the Barber brand of jackets. They make these barn jackets. Anyway, they're extremely popular in Europe right now.
There's one I really like from the website, but because we live in Houston, we don't have as many opportunities to wear jackets. And so paying that much money for a jacket feels like a waste a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. I also fell in love with clotted cream, which I didn't think that I would like. For me, it's a mix between like butter and whipping cream.
I heard somebody describe in a cooking video last night mascarpone cheese as if heavy cream had the texture of butter.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
So,
yeah.
Well, I've never been to London. I've only been in the airport, but one day I held down the fort.
Yes.
I feel like I've not had a lot going on in the last. Usually when we talk, it's like, oh, here's what I did last week. I feel like I didn't do much.
The thing is, I was thinking this morning is I think that today's going to be a very good episode because we haven't been in the office together in like 4 days.
So before we talk about our marketing topic, though, even though this is not like what's been going on in my life, can we talk about lunch today
Yeah, sure.
and how annoying we went to Trader Joe's and stopped and got lunch before. And I don't know what was happening because there were 3 people sitting at the table behind us just talking loudly about medical procedures
Yes, and ailments.
and like almost like comparing surgeries.
I think that it was more than comparing. I think it was like one-upping.
It was so like the one that stood out to me the most was the woman that just kept saying, no, 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 I had it done to my tailbone. It was done to my tailbone. And I'm like, what are they talking about?
Right. And the guy was like, no, they asked me if I wanted the local anesthesia or to knock me out. And I said, of course I want the local anesthesia. And I was like, excuse me,
Yeah,
sir, anytime that I have an opportunity to be knocked out with anesthesia, I will take it.
Right. I mean, I normally ignore people. I'm like, okay, it's fine, whatever. Like other people don't bother me. And I mean, they didn't bother me, but it was just like the whole time I was like, oh my God, shut up. And I'm normally not like that with other people, but.
Do you think that that's a sign of age?
No, I think it's a sign of just my poor attitude for the past 2 weeks, really. Because I was also mad at Trader Joe's because I was like, oh my God, everybody is just standing in the way. Nobody's looking where they're going. And I was like, I just need to go back to the office and get out of public.
Imagine being at Trader Joe's on a Friday afternoon at 1:00.
Right.
And being annoyed.
Why do these people not have jobs? Why are they not at their office? I mean, that's always our question, but anyway, so clearly I don't have anything going on in my life because this is what's happening right now.
Hey, Stephen, why don't we get into our topic for today?
Yeah, we probably should. All right, so today is part 2 of our 3-part series, Clarity Before Tactics. So I encourage you to listen to the last episode where we dug into the idea of personas or understanding who you serve. And it's not just personas, it's your audience, however you want to describe that, but really understanding who it is you serve. And so today for part 2, we're going to talk about what problems you solve.
Yeah, so, you already know who you're serving. How do you serve them? What problems are you solving? So this is really the next step into, creating, I would say, like your strategy, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
just
guess
like it's like
strategy.
foundational marketing. And we thought that we should cover this topic because people think they are covering it or they think that you already have this information, but a lot of times this is a good time of year to revisit that or at least put it on your roadmap to revisit that.
Yeah.
To get some clarity.
And just kind of looking ahead when we talk about part 3 in the next episode, we'll have talked about who do you serve today, what problems you solve, and then part 3, it's really about how do you tie that together? How do you communicate that? Like how do you tell that story? How do you communicate the problems you solve to the people you solve it for? So essentially marketing.
Right.
Is really
how do you
what
actually market it?
Right.
Right.
So maybe it's taking 3 episodes to get to marketing.
Well, I think that it's important to note,
right?
Because this is what we're talking about: is this clarity before tactics. We are spending 2 episodes of this podcast talking about the clarity piece of it. And even in the last episode, we are going to touch a little bit on the tactics, but it's still going to be about clarity. And it just takes this much time. I know that we don't always have the luxury of it, but if you can set aside some time to get some clarity, your tactics are going to go so much better.
Right. So, I mean, it's, if we look at a 3-part episode or a 3-part series, it's almost like we're spending 2/3 of it on planning and strategy before we even get to the doing. Maybe that mirrors real life.
Yeah. Speaking of mirroring real life, though, a lot of what we're talking about today is part of our messaging workshop that we do.
Yeah.
Right. So this should come. We talked to, so many people about this topic and have worked through this with so many clients and to really understand like what the problem is.
And I think the one thing about it, as we talk through it, that clients and past clients have found the most surprising is once they get to the end of it, they're like, is it really that simple? Have I been sitting on this for years and it was really just this one sentence describes it? And it's like, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. I think it is interesting that is something that sometimes I do feel like, oh, should it be more complicated? And I question myself, even though we've done this so many times.
Right. And it's felt like when we do it, when we get to that point of the deliverable or saying like, well, here we've wrapped it up into this bow, it's like I'm always waiting for the response to be, are you serious? This is really all we're getting, what we paid for? But that's never happened. It's always been like, wow, thank you. This is so helpful. This is actually really clear.
It really is clarity.
But it does feel like, to your point, is this too simple?
Right. I mean, at least in our face, they haven't said.
Right. But I do think that goes back to clarity. Like the whole point of clarity is to get clear. And so really what we're doing is eliminating confusion, trying to take away the guesswork or like the mental load on your prospects to try to figure out what it is you do. Because, what's that saying? If you confuse, you lose.
Right. Exactly.
And we know attention spans are so short. You've got literal seconds to explain what it is you do before somebody bounces and they're like, whoa, let me go find somebody else. I have no clue.
So that actually happens to me a lot whenever I go to a website. And if I can't figure out what this person does or what they do, I will just leave. And I'm not the only person that does that.
Oh, same. I mean, I don't want to call them out, but like I think management consultants are the worst for this.
Oh, yes.
And it's like, well, what are you consulting on? Like, what are you helping with? And it's so obscure. And, I was on a website earlier today and it was for a leadership coach, a development coach. It's not someone we know. It's not someone we work with. So if you're a friend or a client, this was not your website. I promise
Glenn Taylor, you are safe.
Right. Katrina, no worries. Shout out to Skybound and Happy Teams. We're not talking about you. We may talk about you in a bit, but right now I'm giving a different example.
Keep listening.
This is a leadership coach that I don't know. Somehow I ended up on their website. And I was like, okay, this is actually pretty clear. Like the services they mentioned, like they were like, I do 3 things: individual leadership coaching, team or group coaching, and then organizational workshops or something. And I was like, okay, that seems pretty clear, those 3 things. And then it was like, to get a better understanding, watch this quick video. I was like, all right, play. And then I looked down at the bottom corner and it's like 13 minutes.
Oh,
and I was like, out.
That's not a quick video.
Nope. I'm like, I'm out. I don't have 13 minutes to understand what you do.
So I think it's a great example. I know that we're not talking about tactics right now, but if you really think about a customer journey, when somebody would watch a 13-minute video, they're going to be so close to wanting to talk to somebody before they do that. Or maybe it's even after they've talked to somebody, but it's certainly not in the first 35 seconds of meeting them.
I don't know that even if I were at the very bottom of the quote unquote funnel, I would watch a 13-minute video.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not that person, but there may be somebody in some kind of industry that would.
If I watch even cooking videos on YouTube, if it's more than 8 minutes, sometimes I'm like, well, I don't need this recipe that bad.
I mean, there's a reason why TikTok and Reels do so well, right?
All right. So let's talk about how do you get clear? How do you get clarity around what problems you solve? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, can we talk about like how people buy first, like why they buy and why this is important to talk about problems, the problems that you solve?
Yeah.
So first, it's an external problem. That's really why somebody is going to shop. This is like, I have my external problem is that my grass is long. So I need to find somebody to cut my grass for me. Right. And then the next is the internal problem. And that's, how is that making me feel? Well, it's making me feel like an unkempt person or something like that. And that's why I would actually buy. So external problem, that's how they shop. Internal problem, that's why they buy. And so that's why it's so important when that's why it's so important to understand what kind of problems you solve for the customer, because this is really important. You get them to, one part where you are in their consideration set, but really how do you make them feel, or are you communicating that you understand how they're feeling?
Yeah. I mean, and so kind of going back one step to this, what we're talking about right now is based on the story brand framework from Donald Miller here. So this is one way of looking at it, and this is probably our preferred way of looking at it. This is, kind of how we have approached it in the past. I think the grass example is good because kind of going back to that internal, how does it make you feel? I mean, like that's the thing that motivates them. Like it could be, like you said, they feel unkempt, like an unkempt person, or like I'm embarrassed for my neighbors to see my yard. I'm embarrassed with the way my home looks. And so like that is going to motivate me more than just my grass is long. It's like that fear, or not fear, but like that embarrassment or that feeling is making me look for a solution.
Right.
So how could we translate that to B2B?
um so what is the example that we always use, like a CRM?
I think so.
Yeah, CRM is like our go-to. Let's just say we don't have a CRM, right? And so let's just say our CRM, quote unquote CRM, is Excel.
Yes, we've never seen that before.
Never. So let's just say I'm using Excel to keep up with our clients. So that I'm looking for a CRM because the current system that I have, I can't keep up with it. I can't. It's too much work.
That's a good example. I was thinking too about a past experience we had with a client around cybersecurity, and kind of the idea that, if I'm a business owner or the person that's in charge of IT at my organization, I might be thinking about making a switch or looking for a new provider because I'm on a legacy system or an outdated system. But that might not be enough to actually get me to purchase. I might look around for that, but then that internal problem of like, I'm actually terrified we're going to get hacked, or like some ransomware situation is going to happen and we're going to owe $1 million before we can get our information back. So that fear, or that feeling of being scared about the security of your organization, that internal problem is the thing that makes me actually purchase. But the fact that we're on a legacy system is the thing that makes me start looking. So I think it feels really simple, but it's really effective.
Yeah. There's one thing that we haven't talked about yet. So that's the external problem, right? It's like what's actually going on that's making them shop. And then the internal problem, again, is why they buy. It's how is it making them feel? There's this other problem statement that we talk about often. It's the philosophical problem. You want to cover that?
No. Yes, I can talk about it, which is actually going to go into our lukewarm take. Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about the parts of the problem. External problem, that's why they're looking. Internal, that's the thing that makes them buy. Philosophical is, why is this problem wrong?
Yeah, why is it plain wrong?
Yeah, at the end of the day, why should this prospect not have to deal with this problem? And a lot of times it comes down to, well, it's wrong because everybody deserves to succeed in their job, or people shouldn't have to feel frustrated or scared that their company is going to be hacked. It's kind of that deeper, intrinsic, like, fluffy part of the problem, I think.
Yeah, it's like that. I think the thing that comes up a lot is just like, why is this morally wrong? Or why is this belief completely wrong?
Right. And I think there are times when the philosophical problem makes sense. So, for example, we had a client, they worked with compounding pharmacists. And when we talked about it, the philosophical problem was for what they provided to their prospects was that because, patients deserve access to healthcare that works for them. That makes a lot of sense. a lot of times we're talking about software, hardware, industrial manufacturing type things. So
yeah, I think it does depend on the thing that you're selling, right?
So I think we both agree that our lukewarm take for the week is that in a lot of times, like the philosophical problem, like it's just not needed.
Yeah, I don't think that it's needed. I have a different lukewarm take though.
Okay.
Um and I really wish that I had thought of this all these times that we've done this workshop. I mean, we've done so many workshops. Now looking back, really have figured out that most of the time the internal problem, most of the time the internal problem is frustration.
Right.
Right. I mean, it just, for whatever reason, it always comes back to this frustration. And so I think that that is important to note that likely the internal problem, whatever it might be, is probably like, it's just a frustration. So how can you remove that frustration out of your customer's life or your prospective customer's life? How do you do that? And then you communicate that. Right. And it could be in a number of different ways, but overarching, what are you doing to help them? And if you understand that, that's really when it resonates, right? You're putting all this time and effort into marketing. If you understand why they're frustrated and how you can help them be unfrustrated, you're going to win most of the time. I mean, like 90% of the time, because most of the time your competitor will stop at just that external problem of like why they're shopping.
Or the external problem.
Yeah.
So is your lukewarm take then that 9 times out of 10, the internal problem is frustration?
Yes.
Okay. I was hoping it was something bigger than that so we could go back to all of these clients and be like, we need to do round 2 of this workshop.
See. Yeah. So, the philosophical problem. We need to really refine that.
Yes. No, but I do think the philosophical problem in most cases, it does feel like we just like try to get through it because it doesn't feel as relevant to what we do, especially in the industries that we work with, maybe.
Yeah, I do think that's the case for sure.
It's, I think one of the things that is important here too, we talked about, this problem. When we talk about what problems you solve, we're talking right now about like this 36,000 foot view at a very high level. At the end of the day, there are probably very specific problems that you solve that you can talk about like in more detail than just this one internal external situation. Like right now we're talking about the core message for a brand.
Right. It's the brand right now, but you could also go back and look at this. So let's just say you're doing a product launch. You still go through the same exercise. You know who you're serving. What is this product? Who is this product serve? And how are you serving them? What are the problems that you're solving with this product?
Right.
And so I think it's important to note that, yes, what we're talking about right now is like this 36,000 foot view, but you can also take it down to a specific product, a specific service, whatever that might be. You need to understand this at all the levels.
Right. I mean, it's, if we think about us as a marketing agency, we solve more than one problem, but, we can still take that and like synthesize it into like, what is the core problem that we solve for clients?
Right.
We can get specific, like you need leads. Your brand messaging is unclear. Yeah. Like there are multiple pain points. We haven't said that word yet, pain points. That one gets thrown around a lot.
I hate that word.
But that's the word that resonates a lot with people because they can get their head around it.
Yeah.
What are your customers' pain points? What are your prospects' pain points?
But it's so much more than that. That's my argument of why I don't like that word. Is because pain points, I feel like it feels like maybe like surface level,
Yeah.
I think of like a paper cut is painful.
But is the pain point then the external problem?
I don't know if that's necessarily true. Pain points, external problem.
I mean, it might not be. I just made that up.
Yeah. I don't know. Because with pain points, I guess with external problem, I still feel like it's from the customer point of view, when you talk about pain points, I don't know if I really think about it as from the customer point of view. It feels like it's from like my point of view or the seller's point of view, whatever the sellers, our clients, or whatever it might be.
We're in real estate now. It's the buyer and seller here.
Right. I mean, yeah.
So, I mean, like thinking about this concept too of like what problems you solve, we'll talk about it on the next episode of like, how do you start to tie that together? But like so many companies and brands, it feels like they're afraid to state the problem or they're afraid to state it clearly. Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think, you'll read copy on a website and it's like, we power brands and companies to make change in the industries that keep the world moving. And it's like, well, you're a software for car dealerships. Like, why didn't you just say that? Like the companies that keep the world moving, car dealerships. Like I've had to do so much work to get here. Oh, you're saying cars moving forward. Haha, I get it. But like, why do you think brands want to default to like being so like obscure with their copy?
I wish that I could tell you that we've never done this before.
Sure.
But with our own website, I wish that I had known that when we had created past websites or marketing materials. I think the reason why is because of marketers. Again, it's this fear of being too straightforward. Why do we want to be straightforward? I think that's one way to look at it. Another reason why sometimes this might happen is because they didn't have that clarity from the beginning. They didn't know what the problem was that they solved. And so they're just writing.
My opinion on this is I think people feel like because it's marketing and we're marketers, it has to be creative. And if it's not creative, then we've not done our job as marketers. And so a catchy headline or a really, well-crafted sentence that says a lot of fancy words feels more like marketing than just clearly stating the problem. And if we just state the problem, we'll get accused of not knowing how to do marketing.
Right. No, I agree. Absolutely, I agree. And I think that also too, when you're growing up, you're in school and you're writing papers, you get rewarded for rambling.
Right. It needs to be 10 pages. And it's like, well, I could have done this in 4.
Nope, that wasn't the assignment.
I mean, we've witnessed that with mentoring team members and things in the past where it's like, there's not bonus points for making this email really long.
Right.
It's actually better for it to be short.
Yeah. But I do think that it's harder to be short. I mean, this is what we talk about. It's harder to write short than it is to write long.
Yeah.
Because you really have to have, let's go back to this clarity again. You really have to know where you're going so that you can write it in a way that's just straightforward and clear.
Yeah.
I think that something that we haven't really talked about is, we are talking about all of this messaging and stuff. And I think that in a future episode, we can probably talk about how all of this feeds into like your website, because, knowing the external, internal problems, this directly feeds into your homepage of your website, right? This is, or the product page that you're creating for your new product that you're launching. That's why it's so important, because especially now with AI, it takes so much work to get somebody to a website, right? You don't want to miss that opportunity when they're actually there. And so you really want to be clear on how you can help your potential customer, and so they can actually become a customer of yours.
Before we talk about websites, because I actually have a game I want to play.
Ooh.
A spooky game.
Spooky game.
A scary Halloween game. Do you want more of this dearly beloved wine?
Yeah, dearly beloved.
All right.
Actually, yeah.
I don't mind it.
No.
What was it? $9?
Yeah. It's probably full of, what is it, Mega Purple?
Yeah.
I had this Taylor Swift song in my head.
Which one?
Oh, it's in my mind and I can't.
Father Figure is my favorite.
I like Ophelia.
Yeah.
Not Ophelia. Opalite. There's two.
They're like two. There are 2 at the beginning, right?
Yeah, it's Ophelia's first. There's one in the middle that I always skip, and then Opalite. I think Opalite is the best song on the album.
Father Figure is my favorite. I hate that stupid Wood song.
The Wood song doesn't bother me. I don't like.
I just think it's
Is it
corny.
Eldest Daughter?
Yeah.
Eldest. I don't like that one.
I just think it's corny.
But I just remember. So I'm not a Swiftie. And so I didn't really listen to her albums until the last album, Midnights. And I do remember my process of listening to Midnights. The song, like when it first came out, the song that I really, really liked is not the song that is my favorite now. It really did like shift and move over time.
I loved the 2 COVID albums, Evermore and Folklore.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 favorite. I'm obsessed with this Mariah Carey album. Okay, Hami, you mentioned websites and how somebody could take this idea of the problem and how that ties into their website, specifically their homepage. So I've put together a little game.
Okay. Oh, I love games.
Saw that movie? Want to play a game?
No, I
you
don't
watch scary movies.
I don't watch scary movies because I get scared.
Oh, I love scary movies. Okay, so you want to play a game? Okay, I'm going to read some copy from the homepage of 3 websites. And I want you to guess what these companies do. And
I'm ready.
So we're talking about being very clear about what you do, who you serve, what problems you solve.
So this is the headline?
This
like
is
in the hero?
In most instances, this is the hero. I'll kind of share if it's different. So this is the headline and like the next, like the supporting statement from this first website.
Okay.
Going the distance isn't just a catchy phrase. It's our philosophy. We are here to help you get it done. With our expert team of consultants, we help you find solutions to your toughest problems and turn your ideas into reality. What company, what kind of company, what industry do you think this is?
So at first I thought it was going to be like a sports company, like
because
a running
of
shoe.
Going the distance.
Yeah, but then you threw in that thing about the consultants, the ideas. What was it? Ideas into?
Yeah, we help you find solutions to your toughest problems and turn your ideas into reality. It's very unique.
Oh gosh. Then I feel like it's a consulting firm for sports, like gear.
No, this is an IT company.
Okay.
But it could literally be any
right
management consultant, any sports consult,
So the ideas into reality, I did feel like that was some kind of consultant in general.
Right.
Just a general consultant, a management consultant.
But this whole concept of like, we turn your ideas into reality, that could also be marketing. Like very unclear.
Right.
Okay. Here's the second one. Again, this is the headline, and it's the headline and then the supporting copy under it. Okay. Innovation starts with the first step. AI is changing the way we work. You need a flexible partner to evolve your platform, uplift your team, and guide your organization in the right direction.
It's software.
Okay.
I was thinking like a CRM or like a Gusto, where is it like payroll software or something?
Okay, yeah. No, it's another IT company.
Is it number 3? Number 3. You have a third one?
I do have a third one.
Okay, IT company.
No. That one actually is not an IT company. But this one was an IT company. So this innovation starts with the first step. Okay. I mean, maybe. That's innovation is such a buzzword. But AI is changing the way we work. I went through like the homepage of this website and a few subpages. Nowhere else do they talk about AI. Okay, I think they slapped it up on there, like just to have AI on there. Okay. So, but the part that stuck out to me was like needing a partner to evolve your platform. Okay, like what is your platform? Like, are you talking about your IT? But then uplift your team.
I don't. That's why I was like, I don't know.
Right. Like, I'm not looking for my IT company to lift my team. No. Maybe keep them online.
Yes.
Keep their tools and systems running. But I may reach out to that leadership coach with a 13-minute video to uplift my team. All right. For this third one, I'm not going to read verbatim all of the copy because I feel like I don't want to call a company out. It's too specific, I think.
Okay.
So I'm going to read the headline, and then I'm going to give you a fair synopsis of what the next paragraph was.
Okay.
So, helping serve your clients like we serve you. And they talk about guiding professional service firms through strategic decisions by using their trademark term for advisors to help you get to those right decisions for your business. Any idea what kind of company this is?
The only thing I can think is like a marketing agency.
Okay, it's a CPA firm.
Okay.
And again, it was a situation where it's so obscure and nowhere on the homepage do they talk about bookkeeping, tax advising, any kind of accounting related service. You've got to dig in further into the site. And so this is what we're talking about today. At the core of this conversation, the cognitive load required to figure out what you do. I mean, we've not even talked about SEO. Like, how in the world are you going to get found?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you never said you were an accounting firm, so you might as well just give up on SEO. Like, don't be afraid to say what you do, because if I land on this website and I don't know that you're an accounting firm, I'm going to walk away.
Right.
You are now out of the consideration set. You are no longer in my buying journey unless somebody specifically says you need to look at this company because they're great. Based on your internet presence, like, I'm out.
I have a question. Is there a time when maybe you don't need to do that? Like, I'm just thinking about a Salesforce or a HubSpot. Would it make sense for their homepage, the hero in their homepage, to not define what they are?
I mean, maybe. I think there's a point where you've got enough brand equity where maybe it doesn't matter. Like, if I go to, this is not a B2B example, but if I go to Coca-Cola's website, I probably don't need them to tell me that they're a cola flavored soft drink,
Right.
And, I know what Salesforce is. I don't know that they need to be as specific, but I don't think it would hurt them.
Right.
You know? So I don't think there's harm in it, but I think there might be a point where if you are one of the big, major brands in that space, like, you don't have to. But
I think that that's a question that you have to ask yourself is like, if you go to your homepage.
Actually, who you should ask?
Who?
Your prospects, not yourself. That's the other problem in marketing. Nobody wants to talk to their customers.
That's true. Ask your customers. Ask them, do you understand what we're doing based on our homepage?
You just canceled everything we talk about with marketing. You're like, you should ask yourself. No, Hami, stop. Don't. It's not about you.
It is about me.
Always.
All the time. It's exhausting.
Speaking of exhausting, we have a webinar coming up on October 30th. And I call it exhausting because the title is so long. Scary content mistakes B2B marketers make with AI. I feel like one of those mistakes may have been that title.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like that's probably an SEO, search everywhere optimization.
Goldmine.
Yes.
B2B marketers, AI, content.
That's exactly right.
Marketing, everything's there. But the webinar is coming up October 30th. Hami, Val from our team are going to be walking you through how to create better content and how to avoid the scary AI mistakes that are haunting your nightmares this Halloween season. And
so it's going to be so fun, though, because we're going to be telling these scary stories about content mistakes. And then you might see these ears again. I don't know. Maybe.
I think you can do better. Link will be in the description below. Definitely check that out. Before we wrap up, Hami, what do you think of this wine? Dearly beloved from Trader Joe's.
$8.99. I think it tastes like a $16.99 bottle.
I agree.
So it's not bad.
Like, this is something that I would not gift to a friend as a nice wine, but I
might bring it to your house.
I was going to say, that when I come over next, I'm going to be like, here, I brought you all this bottle of wine from Trader Joe's. But no, it's much better than I expected.
Yeah,
I would drink this as like a house wine.
Yeah. It would be a porch pounder for the winter.
I don't think red wines are porch pounders.
Depends on who you talk to.
Anyways, this is not sponsored, but dearly beloved, I looked this up on the website to see because the bottle does not state. So I did look at the website.
Oh, look at you.
I know.
Digging
I do my
deep.
research for this
Yes.
podcast. This is not just slapped together. This is a limited time wine, though.
It is.
So they're not going to have it probably much past spooky season.
Oh,
So
that
I
makes sense.
would
Yeah.
recommend going to Trader Joe and
Yeah.
getting a bottle.
Yeah. Go see Joseph.
Yeah, he's got some good wines. And if you see the pumpkin spice Chardonnay, grab
Get
us a bottle.
Yes, I want to taste it.
I do too. I mean, it's going to be
mean,
garbage.
Yes, totally. But I do want to taste it.
Speaking of, and then we'll wrap. Do you know that HEB has pumpkin spice bacon? They call it something different, but it's pumpkin
Yes.
spice bacon.
Yes.
And it's actually not bad.
Yes, because it's very slight, right?
Yeah.
I
It's,
think you might have fed it to me.
it's most, I mean, like, oh, it was at that party in
Mhm.
Fredericksburg.
Mhm.
It's warm spices. So
Yeah. So it makes sense.
But anyways, we hope you have a happy spooky season. Halloween is right around the corner.
Yep.
Do us a favor. Like, follow, subscribe, rate, review.
Share.
Everywhere. Tell your friends. We promise they won't be scared. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll see you at the next happy hour.